businesses have been arrested on federal charges. 18-year-old Frances Evans and 19-year-old Lamar Brown are accused of robbing 3 Subway restaurants and 1 mini-mart this month. Each federal robbery charge carries a maximum sentence of 20 years in prison. They were charged federally because the alleged robberies of the Subway restaurants are considered to be an obstruction of interstate commerce. A man from Chicago has been arrested after allegedly stealing and crashing 3 vehicles in the span of less than an hour in Aurora.
Aurora police are calling it a bizarre series of events.
Going down to 71 tonight. It's 86 degrees in Chicago. WBBM News Time, 11:30.
It's Sunday, June 30th. I'm Margaret Brennan, and this is Face the Nation. President Trump becomes the first sitting U.S. president to step foot in North Korea, greeting Kim Jong-un on his turf.
Hey, I'm over here. I want to call Chairman Kim. This is in particular a great friendship.
That after the president announced the day before a temporary ceasefire in the U.S. trade war with China. We'll talk with top White House economic advisor Larry Kudlow. And Congress finally agreed to give the Trump administration nearly $5 billion to help with the migrant crisis at the border. Senate Judiciary Chairman Lindsey Graham weighs in. Plus, Democrats face off against Democrats.
I think the only candidate here who has passed the law protecting a woman's right of reproductive health.
Hey guys, you know what? America does not want to witness a food fight. They want to know how we're going to put food on their table.
We'll talk with 2 presidential hopefuls who took the stage. Minnesota Senator Amy Klobuchar and former Texas Congressman Beto O'Rourke. All that coming up on Face the Nation. Good morning and welcome to Face the Nation. We begin today with CBS News White House correspondent Weijia Jiang, who is in Seoul, South Korea, where she has been covering the president's historic visit to North Korea.
Good morning, Margaret. The suspense over whether President Trump and North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un would meet quickly turned into frenzy over a historic episode that lasted much longer than expected. In fact, even President Trump admitted he was surprised the meeting happened at all. President Trump and Kim walked toward each other from opposite sides of the joint security area in the DMZ, the demilitarized border zone that separates North and South Korea. After a handshake, Mr. Trump became the first U.S. sitting president to cross over the line of demarcation into North Korea, something he said he was proud to do. Then the 2 leaders met for nearly 1 hour, and it all came about because of a tweet President Trump sent yesterday, inviting Kim to the DMZ to say hello and shake hands. Kim said he was surprised at the gesture and by the president's willingness to see him there. President Trump described the meeting as strong and solid and said negotiating teams would be meeting in the next 2 or 3 weeks to start crafting a deal for Pyongyang to give up its nuclear weapons. He also said he would invite Kim to the White House, but did not provide a time frame for when. Margaret?
Weijia Jiang in Seoul. We go now to some analysis on this morning's event. Jean Lee is director of the Korea Center at Wilson Center, and Mike Morales, former acting director of the CIA and CBS News senior national security contributor. Mike, we know the President's national security team was opposed to this. The meeting strengthen or weaken the U.S. position?
Margaret, 2 different perspectives here, I think. One is that a negotiated solution is the only solution to this problem. There isn't a military option. There's not a covert action option. So getting back to talks with the North Koreans is important, and I think that's a good thing. The second perspective, though, is this comes at a very high cost. This gives Kim Jong-un a lot of legitimacy. This is gold for him politically at home and in the world. And secondly, this is going to weaken sanctions enforcement against North Korea, because if you're another country, you're going to say to yourself, my companies don't need to pay a price. They're now getting along. You're going to step back a little bit. So we're paying a price for this, and it can't go on forever. But let's see if we can get something out of these negotiations.
You've lived, you've worked in North Korea. What does this do for Kim Jong-un at home? Is he actually under much pressure to get things done?
He is, and that's a very very important point. It's so hard for us to tell what's happening inside North Korea because they do such a good job of keeping us out and of framing the photo or the narrative of North Korea. But the fact is, it is an extremely poor country. And we may not get that sense when we see that he's pouring so much money into nuclear weapons. We see these military parades and everything looks so organized and Pyongyang looks so modern. But we have to remember that they have an estimated GDP per person per year that is more along the lines of Congo or some of the poorest countries in Africa. This is a country that is suffering, and he knows that. I do think he needs this, and he wants this. So for me, it was only a matter of time that he and President Trump would start putting out feelers to get back to these nuclear negotiations. I think there was a lot of faith after Hanoi, and so he's looking for a chance to get back to that negotiating table.
But Mike, even though there may be that pressure on Kim Jong-un, he's still charging ahead with the nuclear program.
So two pieces to that. One is he's still making fissile material, so he's still adding to the nuclear stockpile, but he's not testing nuclear weapons and he's not testing missiles. You know, we know he has nuclear weapons. We know he has ICBMs capable of reaching the continental United States. But one thing he has not demonstrated is the ability to mate those two together, right? And he needs to test in order to convince himself that he can do that, let alone us. So the fact that he's holding back on that is important. But the stockpile continues to grow.
And you've been watching some of what Kim Jong-un is doing in the region. He's been meeting with Vladimir Putin. He's been meeting with Xi Jinping. He has some powerful friends other than the United States right now. So how much leverage does the U.S. have here?
In fact, Russia and China did support the latest round of UN Security Council sanctions that have been such a chokehold on North Korea's economy, and I think that was a major blow to North Korea. And so he was going to Putin and to Xi to see if he could get some sanctions relief. Doesn't sound like he got what he needed. And so in that sense, he is trying to tell his people at home, look, we do have, I am meeting with them, we have a good relationship, they still have our back. But it does mean that if he does continue to build those relationships with Putin and Xi, it does take away from the leverage that President Trump has. I think that's something that we have to watch closely, the way that Kim Jong-un is very savvily playing all these different relationships in the region.
And Mike, it seems like the U.S. strategy has been to try to separate Kim Jong-un from some of his more hardline, old-school advisors. The idea that he is so unique and President Trump is so unique that you could get this impossible deal, even though the U.S. intelligence community says he's not going to give up his nukes. What are the odds of this?
So I don't think there's any way he's going to give up the entire program. I think the only possibility is significant limits on the number of nuclear weapons and the missile program, probably the distance that missiles can fly. That's the best we can hope for. We should push for the whole thing, but the best we can hope for is
Containment.
containment.
Thank you very much.
Return now to Larry Kudlow, the National Economic Council Director, who joins us this morning from Connecticut. Larry, good to have you here. The president said he's not increasing tariffs on China, and he's allowing American companies to do business with Huawei. That essentially throws that tech firm a lifeline. What did the U.S. get for these concessions?
Well, let's, first of all, the talks are going to restart. I think that's a very big deal right there. No timeline, Margaret, but they are going to restart. Look, regarding the Huawei story, let me just try to clarify that. There will be sales from American companies, but only in the sense of a general merchandise, things that are available in other places around the world. Anything to do with national security concerns will not receive a new license from the Commerce Department. I think that's very important. I think people have to understand that. Stuff that's generally available will be probably getting a temporary license from the Commerce Department. We'll see how far that goes. second point is we are hoping and expecting that China will engage in large-scale purchases of American farm products and farm services. As the talks continue, the talks may not be ending, the talks may not even be solved, but the president believes that China will begin to purchase American agriculture.
I knew that appealed to you. I understand what you're saying.
Yes. Yeah.
And I thought the guy was, he factored into so much of what the Blackhawks became. And it could have been even worse. The year the Blackhawks nearly completed that comeback.
The 3-0 comeback. They got to Game 7.
Patrick Sharp is at the left post, had it with the puck.
I remember it.
In overtime in Game 7. And what that would have prevented is the riot in Vancouver later on when they lost to the Bruins. The Bruins won the cup. All right, so those are my hockey notes. And you have to explain, because you've got this bags thing, and I love the fact that you're using that name for it instead of the other name, the alternative name that seems to be disgustingly accepted.
Yeah,
so
it's just wrong.
Bags.
Okay.
You need peripherals, you need metrics, you need advanced analytics. What's wrong with you?
I have to, somehow, I need help in defeating someone very important in my life. Yeah, I need help.
Well, you explain to people, maybe somebody can provide it for you.
Okay. All right. Sounds like a plan.
You're not going to do it right now?
No, I think we have to break. Am I wrong about that?
I didn't know how extensive you wanted to do this.
Yeah. Oh, I understand. Yeah, no, there's not much to it.
No, there's not much to it?
Yeah, good night, everybody.
Okay, let's make fun. Again, as I say, there's both it's a tarp and a parachute that Saturday Suckage provides for everyone.
Look, all it is that my wife is a shark when it comes to bags, and I just can't defeat her. There was a time last year when I caught up after months of abuse and won a couple of games. And now we have begun again. It's finally bag season here in Chicago, and she's just demolishing me. And she is, I feel like she's using launch angle and exit and exit velocity. And I think she's got Edgertronic cameras set up at a practice facility that I'm not allowed to use.
Rapsodo bag?
I think so. That must be what's happening because she's brilliant and her level of consistency is astonishing. And I have some choke. I vacillate between choke and clutch in my game. Clearly, I have too much of the old school, heart and soul makeup issues in my bags game. I need to be more dispassionate and analytical, but I depend on my TW when it comes to my bags, and I didn't think that would be me, but that's who I am. And I'm out there, I'm trying to use meditation, because we meditate every morning, so I'm trying to use meditation techniques and deep breathing techniques. I need a mental skills coach for my bags. That's what I'm saying.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
Maybe you should just burn some sage.
You think so?
Yeah, sure.
We've done that in the house, by the way.
There you go.
That's another story.
I had not heard that until I covered, I should watch the way I say that, until I covered Shannon Elizabeth in the World Series of Poker. It's an odd phrase, but she sages before she begins every tournament.
Does she really?
Yes, that's what she said.
Well, there you go. Maybe I should sage more.
I would think that. I'm offering that as a...
Or should I give in and look at my batting average of bags in play? I mean, do I need to look at these things?
I think it's worth checking out, and I also think that you might be placing a little bit too much importance on this. You might.
You shut your dirty whore mouth.
Yeah,
this is the key to a successful relationship.
Back to my home on Whore Island. Really? you think trying to overcome the deficit you're facing and not accepting your place in this particular
my masculinity is at stake here. I have my competitiveness. Yeah, my competitiveness. I just have to step forward and it's like I need to get better, and I think I need to become less dependent on heart and soul and what my eyes are telling me. Boots on the ground of bag scouting, if you will. necessity to use computers more.
Okay, well, we'll let the texters and callers have at it, and they'll help create
Help me.
some metric for you, some kind of analytic that will help you get through this.
Help me cross over to the dark, evil side of bag statistics, or find the blend, which is probably the way to be great, like it is for most ball clubs.
Yeah, okay, we'll work on that.
Thank you.
Saturday Suckage, of course. Chicago Sports Radio 670 The Score.
Warzone's here. Check out my podcast, Low Ho Daily. I record it every day. It's me doing stuff that I can't get to on the show. Sports stuff, geek stuff, whatever's on my mind that day. And I'm glad that the Bears are out here trying to make these kickers earn their jobs. Check out Low Ho Daily. Download the latest episode now from the radio.com app or online at 670thescore.com.
At Webb Chevy, save big and get 18% off on select 2018 Chevys or 0% financing for 72 months on select new 2019 Chevys. Visit Webb Chevy in Oak Lawn or Plainfield today. See dealer for details.
How do you know if you're not the world's best driver? Well, there are wives.
Slow down, honey.
There are husbands.
Easy on the brakes.
And there are father-in-laws.
You're a terrible driver.
Fact is, 94% of us think we're good drivers. DriveWise from Allstate lets you prove it. With feedback to help you drive safer, giving you the power to actually lower your cost. Now that you know the truth, are you in good hands?
Download the Allstate app to get DriveWise and save up to 20%. DriveWise optional savings vary subject to terms, conditions, and availability.
The bottom of the hour was brought to you by the Chicago Wolves. The Western Conference champion Chicago Wolves would like to thank their loyal fans for making this 25th anniversary so special. Thank you and see you in October. And was also brought to you by Anthony Buick GMC in Gurnee. Save over $6,100 on a new 19 GMC Acadia and save over $5,200 on a new 19 Buick Encore. Anthony Buick GMC in Gurnee. GMC, we are professional grade for all.
There are many reasons to grab 2 bottles of Ice Mountain brand. Hydration favors the prepared, so go on, prepare yourself with Ice Mountain brand 100% natural spring water. Grab 2 bottles at your local Speedway today.
My name is David Hochberg at Team Hochberg. If you're purchasing a home, please listen to this important message. Other mortgage brokers advertise about getting pre-approved to purchase a home, even though they know pre-approvals are worthless. They're worthless because you can't purchase a home with a pre-approval letter. But you can purchase a home with a Team Hochberg approval letter. Team Hochberg will underwrite and approve your loan before you meet with a realtor. You'll know exactly what you can afford, and you can close within 14 business days of signing a contract. If you want to secure a pre-approval letter you can't use to purchase a home, call the other guys. If you're interested in securing an approval to purchase a home, call the local mortgage experts on Team Hochberg now at 855-56-DAVID or visit 56david.com. Team Hochberg has helped thousands of SCORE listeners, but we can't help if you don't call 855-56-DAVID. That's 855-56-DAVID or visit 56david.com. Homestead Financial Equal Housing Lender, Illinois Residential Mortgage License, CMB 66761019, NMLS 1124061.
Here's another 7 words for you to set your sights to get to North Aurora. It's summer and the time is right. Right to shop for huge savings at Riverfront Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram's exclusive 30th anniversary Jeep celebration event and Ram's Bigger Things sales event. It's the summer savings sure thing. You can shop over 750 new Ram trucks, Jeeps, Dodges, and Chryslers. So we have exactly what you're looking for. The new 2020 Jeep Gladiator is now in stock, and we're dealing. There's 2018 Jeep Wranglers, and they just gotta go. There's 0% for 72 months on all new Ram 2500. So no reasonable offer will be refused because it's summertime savings exclusively at Riverfront Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in North Aurora, just off I-88 on Orchard Road, and at buyatriverfront.com. Chrysler builds the vehicles, Riverfront delivers the experience. Financing with OK credit based on 1388 2000 finance plus tax title license stock. The offer ends 7/1/19.
Okay, so you know Chicago, like most cities, deals with crime. And since crime rates do skyrocket in the summer, how about doing something about that and hook up one of those Ring video doorbells in your home? And listen, it's a game changer. Anything happens, any time of the day or night, you'll know about it. If someone rings the doorbell or even steps foot on your property, you'll get an alert sent right to your phone. So now you can deal with deliveries, your kids coming home from school early, or worse, a break-in. The Ring video doorbell even keeps it all recorded, so you can go back and see who, what, or when something happened from the Ring app. It's seriously pretty cool being able to see or even talk to whoever shows up at your door. Like one of those things that, once you have it, you can't imagine going back to a normal doorbell that just dings in your house. So if you're interested in knowing what's up when you're away from home, check out Ring today at Best Buy, the Home Depot, Amazon, or Lowe's. Or go to ring.com to start protecting your home today.
All right, welcome to F-150 Radio. Call from Georgia. Chad, what's shaking in Macon?
I know the F-150 kicks butt and takes names.
Like how the high-strength military-grade aluminum alloy F-150 thrashes the competition with best-in-class towing and torque?
Not surprised. Totally saw that coming.
Chad, how do you know so much about F-150 beating the competition?
I drive the competition. Can you lease?
Kind of embarrassing, huh?
Maybe I'll advertise that fact on a national talk radio show.
Good call. The Ford F-150, it doesn't just raise the bar, it is the bar.
Best-in-class names with properly configured vehicles. Classes full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds. GWR based on Ford segmentation. Now get a 2019 F-150 with 0% financing for 72 months. Only at your Ford dealer. Not all buyers will qualify for Ford credit financing. 0% APR financing for 72 months at $13.89 per month for 1,000 finance regardless of down payment. Program number 21040 on 2019 Ford F-150. Not available on Raptor. Residency restrictions apply. Take new retail delivery from an authorized Ford dealer stock by 7/1/19. See dealer for qualifications and complete details.
Ready to hit the refresh button on your frame game? Chicago, meet Iconic. Iconic is celebrating the grand opening of their very first store Saturday, June 29th in Bucktown at 1647 North Damon Avenue. Visit the new store to get an eye exam and shop for eyewear and top brand contacts, all in one place. Check out the scores starting lineup. Foley and Hall, mornings 5 to 9. Bernstein and McKnight, 9 to noon. Lawrence Holmes, noon to 2. McNeil and Parkins on your ride home, 2 to 6. And when the Cubs don't have a night game, night 6 to 10. Julie DeCaro, 10 to midnight. And score overnight with Les Grobstein. WSBR Sports Radio 670 The Score. WSBR in HD Chicago. WBMX HD2 Chicago. Radio.com sports station.
The top of the hour is brought to you by the Chicago Wolves. The Western Conference champion Chicago Wolves would like to thank the loyal fans for making this 25th anniversary so special. Thank you, and see you in October. idea that everything, oh my God, these things are so light. Yes. Peoria Matt says that my opportunity bagging is extremely weak.
There you go. He's buying into the brand dignity. Bagging psychological crap's just not going to work.
Texture says, Speaks, you're losing because you're thinking of your wife as a woman instead of merely a competitor, and she's taking full advantage of. I did the same thing that she's doing in racquetball. Your male pride is getting in the way of your game. That's interesting. So that's an argument for desexualizing my wife while we're playing bags. This from Mailman Nuts. You should buy your wife an overly heavy bracelet and have her wear it only on her throwing arm. Not only will it weigh her arm down and distract her motion, it will give you bonus points in the relationship. Yeah, hey, look at that. There's the tooth. Here, honey, I got you this gorgeous bracelet. I know it's 8 pounds. Don't worry about it.
Quiz question. Low gas prices and traffic and weather together on the 8th coming up. They stalled semi causing early morning backups on the tri-state. Hi, I'm Jack Arnold from Arnold Electric. And I'm Jack of All Trades. At Arnold Electric, we like to think of ourselves as electricians by trade, but teachers at heart. Teachers.
Jack, you skipped class again today.
I had a nickel for every time I heard that. We think it's important to help our customers understand how their electrical system works, so they can make more informed decisions about the work they need done. So you're electricians and teachers? Yeah, we have some of the best trained and most knowledgeable certified electricians in all of Chicagoland, and our customers appreciate it. Oh, this one customer would like to sit with me while I watch online videos and try to figure out how to fix stuff. Yeah, we both learned something. You get paid to watch DIY videos? Oh, come on, you're giving away my business model. Did you see the one with the cat on the piano? No, I was at electrician school. Now, the lowest gas prices from News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Thank you, John. Listeners, for calling gas prices in Northport, the BCL number 59 is selling gas for $3.39 a gallon, and in Morton Road, the Shell on Golf has gas for $3.39 a gallon.
6:38, traffic and weather together on the 8th. Sponsored by Four Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, and Electric. Here's Bo Duray. Talking about a couple of issues on the tri-state tollway. Let's start on the northbound side where we're in the local lanes heading from Roosevelt to the ramp to westbound 290. That's all because we had a assault semi in those local lanes. So in that stretch, you may want to stay in the express lanes, but once you get past that and you get just past the Eisenhower, get back over into the locals, because then the express lanes are packed from North Avenue up into the Grand Avenue curve. That's where we have a crash in the express lanes where the left lane's blocked. So you kind of have to do a lane job on the northbound side of the Tri-State with a couple of issues here as you head northbound on 294 today. The southbound side of the Tri-State tollway, you are checking in delay-free. The Jane Addams, Reagan, and Veterans tollways are all good at the moment. The Edens inbound jammed up from Cicero Avenue to the Kennedy. 27 minutes from Lake Cook to the junction. The outbound side of the Edens all good. The Kennedy inbound traffic heavy off and on from Austin Avenue to north. It's 47 from O'Hare, 22 in from the junction. The Kennedy outbound now a 24-minute drive to get from downtown to O'Hare. Eisenhower inbound 55 minutes from the Jane Addams and 33 from Manhattan in. Outbound Eisenhower slowing from 17th or Central out to 17th Avenue from an earlier multi-vehicle crash. Still a half hour out to Manhattan today. Stevenson inbound 45 minutes from 355, 35 from the Tri-State. Stevenson outbound 23 minutes out to 294. The Dan Ryan inbound trip is a 25-minute drive, 95th to downtown. That's in both the local and the express lanes. With I-57 on the brakes now from 127th Street up to the Dan Ryan. You're looking at 22 minutes from I-80 and the Bishop Ford. Also a 22-minute pace, 8094 to the Dan Ryan. Brake lights start just past 130th up to the merge. No delays on 394 getting onto the Ford, though. The DuSable Lakeshore Drive north and southbound sides are all pretty good. Route 54 northwest suburbs along with I-80 and the southwest suburbs looking great. In and out of northwest Indiana, no delays so far this Tuesday morning. Next traffic at 648, News Radio 1059.
WDBMX with a beautiful day today with lots of sunshine from start to finish. Our high in the upper 70s to near 80. And tonight will be clear down to 50, the coolest inland suburbs, about 64 though at the lakefront. Tomorrow, a nice day with more sunshine and a bit warmer too. The high 84, closer to 80 at the lakefront. Over Thursday, partly sunny, breezy, very warm, more humid in the afternoon with a high of 86. Around 56 in Dunning, 59 at O'Hare, 61 at Midway, and 62 at the lakefront. We're headed up to a high of near 80. I'm acting with the meteorologist Joe Lundberg at 640.
Employees of an Illinois women's prison are looking for new jobs after its closure was announced earlier this year. Now there are staffing concerns as the facility winds down operations over the next several years.
The issue with Logan County Correctional Center staff now seeking employment at other Illinois Department of Corrections facilities is that Logan will remain fully operational while its replacement is built on a 5-year timeline. The medium security women's prison is used as an intake where the incarcerated are evaluated for transfer to other prisons. The conservative government watchdog website, The Center Square, reporting concerns from within other prisons where these women are sent, particularly the minimum security Decatur facility, where Corrections Sergeant Alfred Campbell tells Center Square that he believes unqualified inmates have been sent because of the understaffing at Logan. Brandon Eisen, News Radio 1059 WBBM.
The long-standing gluttony rivalry has been renewed.
It's gone from a July 4th hot dog eating contest to a Labor Day one for two big names. Joey Chestnut mustered the strength to down a world record 83 hot dogs against rival Takiro Kobayashi, who ate 67. Chestnut beat his own world record from 2021. It all went down on a Netflix show called Unfinished Beef, live from Vegas. They each had 10 minutes to eat as many hot dogs as they could. Matt Piper, CBS News.
We have your top trending stories. Coming up next, also sports. So much for the Cubs gaining ground in the wild card race on the Braves night off.
Attention! Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers. So don't wait. If you owe $10, $20, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-599-5858. 800-599-5858. That's 800-599-5858. Mom, reach Sarah.
The first time dinner moments. Now on Quick Flight 101 to end the girl trip moments. Your transmits moments are worth protecting against RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV. And there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com.
So where should we go next?
Sponsored by Pfizer. As a roofer, I don't have time to fail. Homeowners rely on me, so I rely on Beacon. Beacon's unique network of branches work together to give me what I need, when I need it. And with the Beacon Pro Plus app, I've got the brands I depend on, like GAF, right at my fingertips. Now there's GAF with Beacon Pro Plus and earn up to $1,500. Go to BECN.com or download the Beacon Pro Plus app today. Beacon, always building. Warning, the following ZipRecruiter radio spot you're about to hear is going to be filled with F-words.
When you're hiring, we at ZipRecruiter know you can feel frustrated, forlorn even, like your efforts are futile, and you can spend a fortune trying to find fabulous people, only to get flooded with candidates who are just fine. Fortunately, ZipRecruiter figured out how to fix all of that. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, you can forget your frustration because we find the right people for your roles fast, which is our absolute favorite F word. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Fantastic. Whether you need to hire 4, 40, or 400 people, get ready to meet first-rate talent. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. Don't forget, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. Finally, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Top trending stories on WABMNewsRadio.com.
Labor union participation in Illinois hit its lowest point in a decade last year. That's according to a new report from the Illinois Economic Policy Institute and the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign. Despite the decline, the state's union participation, though, is still above the national average. Learn more about the union trend in Illinois at WBBMNewsRadio.com.
Teens are giving themselves braces, but some of them may need a real dentist to fix what they've done. They're buying big dazzle fashion braces on Etsy, about $50, super gluing them to their teeth. The super glue can take the enamel off of their teeth. Dentists are seeing more kids with rotten teeth that require expensive veneers.
Remember when we were kids, braces were not a cool thing.
Do not do yourself braces. That's a bad idea.
Or put super glue in your mouth. That's the word of caution today. Well, today is the Tuesday after Labor Day. For some, it's also known as Telephone Tuesday. That's because historically, the day after Labor Day is the busiest phone day of the year. It probably has a lot to do with the end of summer vacation and everyone getting back to business. On average, phones ring about 34% more compared to any other day.
Big backups on the tri-state because of a 3-vehicle crash. The latest traffic and weather together on the 8s. Coming up, it's 6:46. Sports, sponsored by Busey Bank. Here's Josh Liss.
Hi there, good to be with you this morning. Thanks for listening. They have the dance floor to themselves. The Cubs hoping to climb within 2.5 games of idle Atlanta. A wild card spot already out 1-0 on Pittsburgh. Dansby Swanson swatting a solo homer. Ian Happ's up craving a bigger bite.
Ian Happ, ground one pass first all the way down the right field corner. 1 runner's in. Swanson scores. Here comes PCA. He scores. Happ on his way to third base. Gets there standing up. Cubs now lead 3-0.
They're having a good time at Wrigley Field. Zach David 670 to score. A 3-0 lead evaporates in the 8th inning. Jamison Tyone out of the game. Jorge Lopez allows a 4 spot on 2 home runs. Sean Armstrong 1 more in the 9th. Cubs lose 5-3. Flush the 6-game winning streak. They're 3.5. Plus a tiebreaker back at the Braves for the final wild card. 24 to go. They'll host the Pirates. Hendricks versus Skeens tonight. Yeah, scratch Justin Steele out with a sore elbow. The Braves host Colorado tonight. The Mets beat Boston 4-1. They're a half game back at the Braves for the final wild card. Hosting Boston again tonight. 11 straight White Sox losses. It's just their 3rd longest slump of the season. 13-3 in Baltimore. They're 0-5 against the O's. Chris Flexen and the Sox winless in his last 20 starts. A new big league record. Nick Mastrini deals to the powerful Orioles tonight. The Bears getting ready for the Titans with a workout tomorrow. Sunday's season opener kicks off at noon. The NFL opener is Thursday night with Baltimore, Kansas City. First win for veteran coach Bill O'Brien at Boston College. An upset at 10th ranked Florida State, 28-13. Josh Liss, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
It's 6:48. Traffic and weather together on the 8th. Here's Bo Duran.
Traffic mess on the north.
northbound side of the Tri-State Tollway. If you're in the local lanes heading north on the Tri-State, you're jammed up from Roosevelt to the ramp to westbound 290. That's all because we have a semi with a shifted load of steel on the ramp. It's over on the shoulder on the ramp, but it's a very slow go trying to get to westbound 290. That's in the local lanes, but then past that, on the northbound Tri-State in the express lanes, traffic jam solid from North Avenue to the Grand Avenue curve. That's because of a multi-vehicle crash in the left express lane, just one lane getting by in the express. So through that area, probably better off in the locals, but what a mess on the northbound side of the Tri-State today. The southbound Tri-State Tollway and the rest of the Illinois Tollway system all checking in delay-free. We have a new crash in Will County. This is on the southbound side of I-55. Looks like it's a rollover crash over in the right ditch. Thanks to our tipster Steve on the WBBM traffic tip line at 855-780 Road for the heads-up. Emergency crews just arriving on the scene. Southbound 55 past that Plainfield exit. The northbound side of 55 through Bolingbrook okay for now, but the Stevenson portion of I-55 inbound 48 minutes from 355, 37 from the Tri-State, 28 minutes out to the Tri-State Tollway from the lakefront. The Edens inbound 27 from Lake Cook to the junction. The outbound Edens all good. The Kennedy in an hour from O'Hare now 29 minutes in from the junction. The Kennedy outbound 17 to Montrose, 32 all the way out to the big airport. Eisenhower inbound still an hour 8 from the Jane Adams to the Burn interchange. It's a 45-minute trip from Manheim in outbound 28 to Manheim and 46 out to I-90. On the Dan Ryan inbound, we're at a 28-minute pace from 95th into downtown. The outbound side of the Dan Ryan looking good. 57 inbound now 23 minutes from I-80 to Bishop Ford, a 23-minute drive as well. 8094 to the Dan Ryan. Traffic pretty heavy from 130th to the merge. And Metro reminds you, if you want to avoid this delay, you can always take the Metro electric line from 154th Street in Harvey. It's running on time. DuSable Lakeshore Drive, no major delays. Route 53 and I-80 are all good. No major problems in and out of northwest Indiana. Next traffic at 6:58. News Radio 105.9.
WBBM active with plenty of sunshine today. A gorgeous afternoon with a high of the upper 70s to near 80. Tonight will be clear. We'll get down to near 50 in the coolest inland spots, about 64 at the lakefront. Mostly sunny tomorrow and a bit warmer. High 84, closer to 80 at the lakefront. 50 now in Aurora, 61 at Midway, and 62 at the lakefront. 59 at O'Hare. We're headed up toward 80. I'm active with the meteorologist, Joe Lundberg, at 6:50. Chicago's only station dedicated to news around the clock. News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
An overseas car maker is considering an unprecedented move.
Volkswagen says it could close a plant in Germany for the first time ever. It's also dropping a long-standing job protection pledge that would have barred layoffs through 2029. VW CEO is citing new competitors entering the European markets, Germany's deteriorating position as a manufacturing location, and the need to act decisively. The Volkswagen plant closure in Germany would mark the first time the automaker, which was formed in 1937, closed a domestic factory. The last time a U.S. plant closed in Pennsylvania in 1988. Matt Piper, CBS News.
An attempted jailbreak at the main prison in the African nation of Congo today has left more than 120 people dead.
Most were killed in a stampede. Interior Minister Jacqueline Chabini said on the social media platform X. She said some women were raped and dozens more were injured in the attack. Gunfire inside the overcrowded Makala Central Prison started around midnight on Sunday into Monday morning. There are videos that appear to be from the prison showing bodies lying on the ground and being carried into a vehicle. Makala, Congo's largest penitentiary with a capacity of 1,500 people, holds over 12,000 inmates. I'm Charles Philadelphia.
Pope Francis has arrived in Indonesia for a visit. He hopes to encourage its Catholic communities and promote interfaith harmony in a country which has the world's largest Muslim population. He's expected to meet tomorrow with a group of refugees, migrants, and sick people at the Vatican residence in Jakarta. On Thursday, he's scheduled to take part in an interfaith meeting at a mosque which sits across the square from the city's main Catholic cathedral.
Business news from Bloomberg next. Apple and a Chinese rival next week.
Phil, you can put a fork in my big bank. They're done. They've ignored me for the last time.
Well, it's about time you moved to Lakeside Bank. They have a beautiful fork.
I don't literally need a fork.
It's a three-pronged fork. Lakeside is responsive. They customize and execute with great speed.
Those are outstanding prongs.
Lakeside's been great for my business and personal accounts.
It's time to let Lakeside set the table.
Lakeside is responsive, customizes, and gets what you need done. Lakeside Bank. It's about time. Member FDIC and equal housing lender. Looking to give your home a new and fresh look? It's time to think Forever Remodeling. We specialize in designing and remodeling kitchens, bathrooms, basements, and whole houses into unique, personalized spaces that meet your current lifestyle. With Forever Remodeling, you can imagine a kitchen that's an extension of your personality. A bathroom that's a spa-like sanctuary. A basement that becomes the canvas for your dreams. And a home you always deserve. Call us at 847-809-3355 or visit foreverremodeling.com. That's the number 4, foreverremodeling.com. And start your
project today.
It's 6:53, time for business news live from Bloomberg. Here's Gina Cervetti.
My Cisco, right now it's looking like a lower open as investors return to a holiday-shortened trading week. From the CME in Chicago, S&P futures down 31, NASDAQ futures down 138, Dow futures down 218 points. And crude is falling too. It's down almost 1.5% at $72.48 a barrel. Stocks wrapped up last week and the month of August with gains. Apple and China's Huawei are competing for the premium consumer in China. Now Huawei has scheduled a new product event set for a week from today, just hours after Apple takes the wrap off of its new iPhone lineup. One person familiar with Huawei's plans says the company plans to unveil the world's first commercially ready smartphone that folds not once, but twice. We have a string of earnings this week from retailers. Those include Dick's Sporting Goods, Dollar Tree, and Big Lots. With business at 23 and 53, and in the noon business hour, live from the Bloomberg Newsroom, Gina Cervetti, News Radio 105.9, WBBM.
Traffic and weather together on the 8s. Coming up, a 3-vehicle crash causing some backups on the tri-state. We'll tell you all about that, along with the CBS World News Roundup.
Experience fall colors like never before in St. Pete, Clearwater, Florida. Let's soak off the golden sun along the sugar white sands of America's best beaches and paddle the emerald green waters of the Gulf. Let's explore the kaleidoscopic colors of more than 30 galleries and museums and over 500 street murals. And let's marvel at fiery red sunsets all season long. Discover our vivid fall colors and plan your getaway at visitSPC.com. Let's shine.
Uline is here for the hard workers, for the ones rolling up their sleeves, working round the clock, and getting the job done. You're dedicated to doing what it takes to keep a business growing. Uline is dedicated to helping you make that happen. Working 7 days a week, staying fully stocked and ready to ship any of our 41,000 items the same day. Uline, your shipping and industrial supply specialists. Visit uline.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6869. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ to the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmares today by visiting us online at PRA.com or call 800-575-6869. That's 800-575-6869. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Wesley Financial Group is not an offer. If you own a timeshare, don't miss this public service announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that mail piece in the trash and contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call, and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about your timeshare and all of your options for cancellation.
Call for your free info kit, 800-329-2121. 800-329-2121. 800-329-2121. WBBM Chicago and WCFS-FM at HD1 Elmwood Park, Chicago.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's 6:58. Traffic and weather together on the 8th. Here's Bo Durant.
Some pretty heavy traffic as you head north on the Tri-State Tollway today. Traffic is packed in from Roosevelt all the way up into the Grand Avenue curve, particularly in the express lane. That's where we have a 3-vehicle crash. The left express lane blocks the Grand Avenue curve. If you're in those express lanes, you'll be in a 5-mile backup. It's going to take you at least an extra 20 minutes of sitting. Those local lanes through the work zone, they will save you about 10 minutes, but they're pretty packed approaching the ramp to westbound 290 because of a semi with a
shifted load of steel on that ramp, so it's a pick-em on the northbound tri-state, but the locals will save you a few minutes. The southbound side of the tri-state's okay. The Reagan Tollway eastbound going from Route 31 to Farnsworth, and traffic packed approaching the ramps to the northbound tri-state as well. The Eden's inbound 28 minutes late Cook to the Kennedy. Outbound's all right. Kennedy in 1 hour from O'Hare, 32 from the junction, 38 minutes downtown to O'Hare today. Eisenhower inbound an hour 10 from the Jane Addams. It's 48 from Manheim, then 24 out to Manheim on the Ike. Stevenson inbound 50 minutes from 355, 38 from the tri-state, 28 minutes out to 294. Your Dan Ryan inbound trip 28 minutes, 95th to downtown, but outbound's good, 57 and the Bishop Ford both 23 minutes from 80 to the Dan Ryan. Next traffic at 708, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
We have sunshine in Chicagoland. No rain at all in the forecast today. Tomorrow's looking pretty good as well. We'll head up to about 80 degrees today. We're at 59 right now at O'Hare, 64 downtown.
Featuring the news that matters and breaking news at any time. This is Chicago's news, traffic, and weather station. News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Coming up in the next half hour on News Radio WBBM.
Some South Suburban residents are mourning the death of a University of Wisconsin Whitewater student and champion gymnast.
This is Sarah Herrera. Authorities say road rage landed a 24-year-old Chicago man in jail for a shooting on I-55 in the southwest suburbs.
Turkey has detained members of an anti-American youth group accused of attacking two Marines. More ahead in the CBS World News Roundup.
WBBM Business.
S&P futures are down 32 points. NASDAQ futures are down 140 points.
We have sunshine in Chicagoland. A high today, 80 degrees. It's 7 o'clock.
Anger and anguish in Israel. Protests have been very large. Marines attacked in Turkey.
They surrounded the service members and attempted to put a sack over their heads.
U.S. seizes Maduro aircraft. It's been utilized for a lot of official business for the Venezuelan government. Good morning. I'm Steve Kathan with the CBS World News Roundup. Grief is fueling outrage in Israel after the killing of 6 hostages in Gaza, including an American citizen, as pressure mounts on the government to reach a deal with Hamas. Here's CBS's Imtiaz Tayeb. The grief and anger is raw and unforgiving. As tens and thousands of Israelis took to the streets for a second night to demand Prime Minister Netanyahu bring an end to the war in Gaza and free the remaining captives. He's ruining the country. He divides us in order to keep his control. In what appeared to be a rare act of contrition, Netanyahu addressed the nation, asking for forgiveness. But his tone quickly shifted, saying he would not give in to pressure, and at what some are describing as a lecture, insisted Israel must remain in control of the Philadelphia corridor, a narrow strip of land along Gaza's southern border with Egypt. 2 U.S. Marines sent to Turkey in the effort to protect Israel came under attack by a mob yesterday. CBS's Holly Williams has more.
Video of the incident showed a group of men pulling a bag over the head of one of the Marines as they restrained him and chanting, "Yankee, go home." Those men are apparently members of the Turkish Youth Union, a small nationalist anti-American organization. The group posted the video online, writing, "U.S. soldiers who have the blood of thousands of Palestinians on their hands cannot defile our country." Now, the U.S. military says the Marines were not injured and are now back on board their ship, and Turkish authorities say they detained 15 people in connection with the assault.
Here at home, Vice President Harris campaigned yesterday with President Biden for the first time since she replaced him at the top of the Democratic presidential ticket. CBS's Ed O'Keefe reports it was a bid to get the support of unionized workers in Pittsburgh.
Are you ready to fight? Are you ready to win? yards and a cloud of dust.
Like they used to, like the Rex Grossman Moose Muhammad play, where you knew if they connected early, it was Yaha time, and if they didn't, it was going to be one of those where Rex would finish with a rating of 29. So, go ahead. Revisit that.
I don't know.
Tear it out.
I don't know if you want to revisit that era of Bears football.
It doesn't have to be the. Well, he did go to the Super Bowl.
Yes, Offensive Player of the Month, September 2006.
They went to a Super Bowl. We're broadcasting live in the Hyundai Studios, brought to you by your local Hyundai dealers, Bernstein and Holmes. With you, we have Ray Diaz, Adam Studzinski, Brandon Fryer, Connor O'Donnell, Kevin Lapka, doing the stuff that they do. Yeah, I'm a little uncomfortable with how ready I am to get this rolling. And we lost today. It's Tuesday at Bears. We didn't lose a day, kind of. Like, we lost a week of getting ready for Bears.
You really didn't.
It's all about routine, man. Come on.
This is not Dan, this is not the routine that you're talking about. These are not the joys. This is not it. It's not the same week 1 as it is week 0 into week 1 versus week 1 into week 2.
Right.
Because yesterday we weren't reacting to a game.
Right, and not enough people are hurt yet.
Okay, I mean, I don't know why you want to go to negative town, but
okay. I have a lovely pied-à-terre in negative town.
It's just, this is fun.
I'm on the city board, in fact.
The thing is that the part of the schedule, the players are off today. So you got that, and then things get real. Your game plan should have already been put in. It's interesting. We'll talk a little bit later on about this. Matt Eberflus has a really interesting strategy about that caught my ear when I was watching the press conference yesterday. And later on in the show, we can talk about that. That wasn't the only interesting thing that happened in a press conference yesterday. I think that most people feel like the Bears are going to be good because of all the things that have happened. Jalen Johnson yesterday was, he's always interesting. He's never not interesting. But it was interesting to hear him talk about the outside praise and everyone kind of expecting the Bears being good. And you don't need Dan, nor me, nor Hub's cold water blanket. Listen to Jalen Johnson.
I mean, for me, I'm done buying into the hype, honestly. So, I mean, like I said before, plenty of times I've had pretty good rosters, plenty talented, people in the locker room, sometimes where, oh yeah, this is our use, this is our use. So, I mean, everything that we got in this locker room, it sounds good, it seems good, I've seen it. But at the end of the day, none of that matters. What matters is what we're going to do this weekend. And from every Sunday or Monday, whatever game it is, that's when it matters. So, the preseason hype for me don't move me either. Caleb and Eric, but we all got to come in here. We got to work. Just top to bottom myself. New contract year. I don't mean nothing no more. All right, we got to come in here. We got to go to work.
He's right. That every city is hopeful about where things stand right now because no games have been played. Nothing's been on the line. And now this week we get an opportunity to see all of the work, all of the praise that has been given to Ryan Poles and Ian Cunningham and Matt Eberflus. And now you see what does that look like. You get an opportunity to see what happens when Caleb Williams is game planned against. Is that something that we haven't seen yet?
It's going to be pretty hard for them to game plan. The Bears still have the advantage right now.
Of course.
I think that we're going to have the pendular swing. There's no NFL tape on Caleb Williams. None. There's no Shane Waldron, Caleb Williams tape. So for now,
as far as tendencies go, if you're game planning, you're game planning off of what did he do successfully in college, and then what did he look like in certain situations in the preseason.
But as far as sequencing goes, as far as this personnel, where the ball is going to whom and when, basic stuff, everybody's going to be learning and harvesting all this at the same time, and then there will be. There's going to be some things revealed. There will be some tendencies. And I do think some of this is going to be based on Waldron and what he did in Seattle and what he has done, where he likes to put the ball.
Yeah, but I think that we have to also look at it from the perspective of Caleb has never seen as talented a defense, even though we're talking about the Tennessee Titans. He hasn't seen a team of pros game plan against him. And how does he react to that? What are the things that they're going to try and take away? I think that our quarterback people have kind of told us that he, just like any other young quarterback, is going to have to prove that he can win from the pocket. And Caleb himself, that's his choice. He would rather win from the pocket. When he did that long sit down with Maria Taylor, he was talking about not really wanting to run. He wants to throw it. He wants to win from there. So now he's going to have that opportunity. But there were moments in the preseason, and that's all we have to go off of for the NFL. There were moments where you go, okay, they sped him up a little bit, and we saw him flee the pocket, then make great plays because of his improvisational skills down the field.
That's why the initial response would be that quarterbacks don't like direct pressure. Young quarterbacks are going to be sped up by direct pressure, A-gap blitzes, twists in games up front, and that's fine, but then you're asking him to get out in his happy place in a way that it isn't for some other guys.
And a lot of these defensive coaches are also good enough to be like, oh yeah, we're gonna let him think that he's the one that got outside. But we were practicing
your body. Be my guest.
It's a different deal doing that with a wide open guy at USC on the other side of the field versus a safety or a corner that can be like, got your ass. And they can run under the ball and go get it. A texter brought up the Notre Dame game. You're right. But Notre Dame doesn't have 11 pros on its defense. Now imagine what that looks like with 11 pros on the defense. So these are all things that he's going to have to battle through. And I hope that he does, because it would be fun as hell if he was able to. Because I do think that the next game, you really are going to... I think the Houston game becomes a real test. Because they're going to do all sorts of stuff.
I found it interesting what our guy Jack Silverstein was tweeting over the weekend, and the comp being the 2016 Cubs. And the idea of simply existing in a way that wasn't burdened by history. They didn't decide, they just weren't. They just weren't. It bothered us. The weight of history was our cross to bear, not theirs. And similarly, the point being that maybe this Bears team is indifferent. That they understand tradition, but they don't care about the negative history as much as they're asked about it. And it's not a matter of trying to not be. It's just who they are and who they aren't. And sometimes the right team comes together that just isn't affected, isn't bothered.
I don't know that this Bears team is fighting any sort of history other than their own. I don't think that they're like, we have to be like the 06 squad, or we have to live up to the legacy of 85. I think that's part of the reason that Jalen Johnson is like, I don't want to hear it. I think he's looking at it from the perspective of, every time I come back here, there's supposed to be something great, and we never end up finishing it. So I'm going to wait to see where we're at. I thought it was a realistic view of the way a season should begin. Yeah, you can have your thoughts and your high hopes, but in Jalen Johnson's case, when you had your heart broken so many times with this, you probably need to see it to believe it too. And that's the next part of this. All of us have been thinking about this in one way or another since the college football season ended last year. And you're sitting there going, okay, there's a whole bunch of really talented quarterbacks at the top of the draft, and the Bears might have the best one coming to their team. And then you got him. And most of the conversation has been coronation. But you have to be careful because it's the NFL, and things are difficult. Football is hard. So let's see it. Now, like you can have all of the splashy plays. There isn't a throw. That's the one thing I can take away from preseason. I don't think that there isn't a throw that Caleb can't make.
But it's a matter of when.
Correct.
And I don't entirely agree with when Ryan Poles says, let your teammates elevate you, take what's there, there's a time for the special. If special's going to special, there's no restrictions on it. It's just going to happen. It's just going to be that. Just let him play his game and not have to think that way. But when I look at my range of possible outcomes of the Caleb Williams pick, the large focus, that has not changed for me. I think that there is, of everything that's possible, I think the largest probable is that he's a very good quarterback. Mm-hmm. I think but that might not happen in one, of course, or week 4. Of course not. Nor would any of the other outcomes. It's possible that he's a complete bust. Highly unlikely, but possible. It's more possible that he's a Hall of Famer than it is he's a complete bust. But complete bust is a sliver on that range. And then there's underwhelming, there's average, which are also smaller, but I am very confident that he's going to be very good eventually.
The underwhelming thing I think is interesting because of what Caleb has already been made up to be. Right. That's why I keep going back to, he gives you the Kyler Murray rookie year. You should be excited.
That's one of the best quarterbacking Bears seasons ever.
Those number 2. It would be number 2. And I know that the Bears quarterbacking is a bit of a low bar, but even still, that was offensive play. Like, if you want to take the Bears out of it, like, take the Bears out of it and look at the Kyler Murray rookie season, it was offensive rookie of the year. Good. So, even if you take the Bears and throw away Bears history, from a league perspective, it's a really good season.
One thing we know is that he was voted a captain by his teammates. The Bears have 8 captains. And when we come back, let's hear about what that process was and in the aftermath of that vote, what his teammates are saying about his leadership already. That's coming up. Bernstein and Holmes with you on Sports Radio 670 The Score.
Calling all Chicago football fans. Thursday, September 12th. Celebrate the start of this epic season with The Score in Service Sports, Illinois. We're hosting a huge tailgate party and live broadcast at the Prudential Plaza on Lake Street. Bernstein and Holmes 10 to 2, then The Score's afternoon show from 2 to 6. Come by and meet us. It'll be a full day. Chicago football talk plus food trucks and games and more. Football season finally here. Let's celebrate Chicago Thursday, September 12th from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. at Prudential Plaza on Lake Street from Circa Sports, Illinois and 670 The Score.
This segment is sponsored by U.S. Waterproofing. At U.S. Waterproofing, when we're called to fix a basement water problem, we get it fixed right. And we'll treat your home with the same care and attention we give our own. Schedule your free consultation today at uswaterproofing.com. U.S. Waterproofing. A better basement starts with us.
Amazon One Medical presents Painful Thoughts.
I could catch anything sitting in this doctor's waiting room. I could just wipe this runny nose on my jacket. There's a guy next to me sitting in a pool of perspiration. There's this one sharing my armrest.
Next time, make an appointment with an Amazon One Medical provider. There's no waiting and no sweaty guy. Amazon One Medical. Healthcare just got less painful.
Wow, honey, have you seen the electric bill?
Yeah, it's out of control. But have you heard of Navien tankless water heaters?
Tankless? How does that even work?
Well, instead of constantly heating and storing water, it only heats water when we need it. So much more efficient than our giant tank heater.
That sounds great. Let's look into Navien.
Already on it.
Imagine all the hot water you need only when you need it. Bulky tanks are history. Navien high-efficiency tankless is the future. Compact, wall-hung units free up floor space, lower energy bills, longer life than tanks, and a 15-year warranty. Find out more at tanklessmadesimples.com.
If you're in the market for windows, you need to call Russ Armstrong, the owner of Chicago Window Guys. They make and install all their own products and offer a lifetime warranty on all parts and labor. And a bunch of windows done by Russ and his folks, and I'm thrilled with them. They are so much better than the ones that were originally in the house. You get the best price, you'll deal directly with the owner, and you can forget all those so-called buy one, get one free or 50% off offers, the big windows. Russ will explain why those aren't what they really are, and he'll beat the deal anyway. So call him. Chicago Window Guys, 847-881-3060. When you talk to Russ, mention my name. He'll give you 10% off. Check out his reviews at ChicagoWindowGuy.com.
Why trust Grandview Homes to buy your home? It's simple. We make the home selling process fast, easy, and stress-free, even if your home is less than perfect. No real estate agents, no repairs, no clean-outs needed. Leave the mess and the stress to us. Grandview Homes, we live and work in your neighborhood. Our reputation is built on 15 years treating sellers as deserve. Visit GrandviewHomes.com for your fair cash offer today. Grandview Homes, fastest and easiest way to sell your home.
This is a test of the emergency alert system.
This station is participating in a test of the Illinois Emergency Alert System. This system was developed to provide information to the public during emergencies. This was a test.
This is a coordinated monthly test of the broadcast stations in your area. Equipment that can quickly warn you during emergencies is being tested. If this had been an actual emergency, official messages would have followed the alert tone. The score serves the Northeast Illinois EAS local area. This concludes this test of the emergency alert system.
It's not just about watching the game, it's about betting on it. I'm Mike Valenti. I cash the tickets, and Tom and I break down every college football and NFL matchup like it's the last game we're going to watch. From the best bets to the sneaky underdogs, and of course, as my co-host likes to say, the value. And the one thing we're not going to do is pretend we're professionals. We have fun with it. It's an entertainment product and makes watching games a hell of a lot of fun. So cash the ticket, follow it, in the free Odyssey app, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Tonight at the Walden Journey, watch the Hard Knocks season finale on the big screen and your last chance to win a Golden Tico starting at 7 p.m. Get rid of nagging joint pain without drugs or surgery. Now there is a better way. All natural treatments. Call QC Kinetics 312-809-5955.
This is Maggie Gray with an Odyssey Sports Minute. What happened to Florida State? Ever since the Seminoles were snubbed by the College Football Playoff Committee last season, nothing has gone right. They were blown out in their bowl game and now start 0-2 after losing to Georgia Tech in Ireland and Boston College at home. They need a miracle to be a playoff team. I'm Maggie Gray.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? Well, Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has helped over 35,000 families out of financial hardship by getting them out of bad timeshares, and they may be able to help you too. If you were misled into signing a timeshare agreement, it is a lifetime commitment. If you were told timeshare is a great investment or your maintenance fees will never go up, you need to get the facts about timeshare cancellation. For over 10 years, Wesley Financial Group has been dedicated to helping folks get out of a lifetime of debt by canceling their timeshares. So they created a timeshare exit information kit which reveals how the timeshare industry works and what your options are for cancellation. Simply call Wesley right now and they will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free. See how you can become timeshare free. Call 800-761-0000. That's 800-761-0000. Again, 800-761-0000.
You're listening to Bergstein and Holmes, middays 10 to 2 on Sports Radio 670 The Score.
We got captains voted on those last week. Really good group of guys, from Jalen Johnson to DJ, Caleb Williams, KB, the two backers and the two tight ends. So it's, I know it's a larger group than we're used to, but we have a bigger group of leadership now that we've had these couple of years here under our belt.
All right, spread the wealth. Have the Council of Captains. Why not? We have more positive leaders. Go ahead, deputize them.
Positive leaders, and it looks like the voting went that way too, where you ended up with so many votes for those guys that it reached a threshold and just said, all right, instead of doing like another ballot of voting, these are who our captains are, and that's it. It's pretty cool to have a rookie come in and be the captain of the team. I'm not surprised because it's the quarterback position itself is a leadership position, but for his teammates to look at him that way, I think is very, very interesting.
Remind me, didn't we make a big deal that Jay Cutler wasn't voted a captain?
Yes,
we did, right?
Then he ended up being captain.
He did, but it was sometimes it's rotating.
I think he wasn't captain that first year, and it was jarring.
Yes, they brought him in like, this here it is, and they're like, nah, this guy helped.
Yeah, but they were very judicious. I think it was 2 offensive captains, 2 defensive captains, and Patrick Manley. I think that's how it worked.
And Manley is the lord of all captains.
Well, Olin was.
Yeah, but Manley, because he was untouchable at what he would do. Olin is more like the head of the military,
like the captain of captains.
Yeah, but yeah, Olin was the guy that if there was going to be a palace coup, that was the guy that would have everyone behind him regardless.
So I think that year it was Olin and Forte, maybe?
It sounds right. It's hard to argue against that.
Yeah, especially like retrospectively.
No,
it's really hard to argue against that. But I think that it says something that was a slam dunk for the rest of these guys. That Caleb has carried himself in a way that makes it easier for them to be like, okay, I believe. DJ Moore had some really interesting things to say about why that was how it was.
He went out there and proved himself, took command of the offense, and he started opening up, and I guess people saw that, and he rocking with it.
Did he surprise you this training camp, or just kind of how he took the reins, how he improved and played like that?
Nah, he didn't surprise me. I mean, when you're number 1 overall pick, you better go out there and make something shake. Look, he might have cursed, but you better make something shake. And he went out there and exceeded everything that we had set for him.
Sounds simple enough.
Yeah, and he later on had talked about, like you mentioned it right there at the beginning of it, that Caleb took his time kind of opening up. Like he wasn't just walked in and was an open book. That because of all of the things that he wanted to know about playing quarterback, that it took him a minute to kind of just breathe and then show his teammates who he is.
I also think that he is a very deft politician.
I agree.
I don't mean capital, small p. Especially with the way he handles criticism by owning it. When, this guy paints his nails. Like, yeah, I like painting my nails. It's cool. I enjoy it. I like going to the nail salon. I like putting on headphones and letting the nail tech do what they do.
And it's a bond between me and my mom.
Yeah, and that was the whole thing. You cried after you lost. Like, yeah, I felt really sad because we lost, and it means a lot to me.
So I showed some emotion.
Right. And it's like, okay. So what do you know, he's not defensive at all. He doesn't pretend anything's not what it is. He's got a very natural ability to absorb and obviate criticism. What's the word I'm looking for? To neutralize criticism. Where he can say, yeah, that's like, you're not insulting me. Yeah, I like you right now. So, what of it? It's not a threat. And I think it makes him very likable. In that sort of, he knows who he is. And if it took him a little bit of time, he didn't have to show all his teammates who he is every day.
Right.
That'd be annoying.
I mean, it's weird. And also just, look, I want to, like you, I want to come in here and do my job.
Yeah, I want to get to know you too.
And I want to figure out how to do my job better. And then you can, but you can see him kind of like gauging, like asking people questions about who they are. And I think that if the really good leaders, they have either they sense how people are, they observe it, or they ask the questions. They say, okay, this guy is, this is how I can work with this guy. This is how I can motivate this guy. This is how I can put an arm around this guy. That's important.
I think it's EQ and IQ, right? It is having that emotional understanding of how to read a room and how to empathize that can be immensely important to him as a teammate and as a captain. Jalen Johnson had this to say about Caleb Williams' captaincy.
I mean, he just continue to come in here and I feel like be who we want him to be. I mean, I feel like we know why we brought him in here. And I feel like he just continue to do that, continue to walk in those shoes, and just continue to reset the bar for himself. I feel like it's just a step in the right direction for him, but I don't think it's a bit of a surprise coming in here being QB1.
Yeah, you're the quarterback. And what are you going to do? What you're going to do? And I think the key is this. There hasn't been... I think the Bears have been blessed that their last three quarterbacks have all been genuinely good people. Like, Mitch is a good guy. Justin's a good guy. And this kid seems to be that, too. I think the difference in... It's almost like you can watch kind of like the evolution of it, where Mitch was still very guarded. And you saw some of the guarded in Justin, too. You didn't see him really open up. And I think that you just see someone who has been really planning for this for forever in Caleb Williams, and you see that evolution of, I've been getting ready for this since I was 10. So I kind of know how some of the pitfalls that Justin and Mitch ran into, I don't know if he'll run into.
But he's been a professional football player for years.
Now, some of it, though, is circumstance, too. And I am curious on everything is great right now. Until they kick it off on Sunday, everything is great. Like you always talk about, no one's hurt yet. No one's really been hit yet. No one's blown an assignment on a third down play. No one's taken 3rd and 5 and turned it into 3rd and 10 because they jumped. Because they did not, none of that stuff has happened. There hasn't been a bad pick over the middle. There hasn't been, a disguise that you weren't prepared for.
Or there hasn't been a glitch in the headset that has you looking at the sideline saying, I can't hear you. Actually, they did have that in the preseason.
They did. They had it in the last game.
Which is good. I would do it on purpose if I were a coach.
See what your quarterback does?
Oh, yeah, I would absolutely cut it. I don't know. I guess I can't hear. I don't know. Yeah, I would absolutely do that. But it's these things that happen on the sideline. It's not real till it's real.
But I will say that with everything that has been set up into making Caleb like the dude, I think that he'll be better prepared to handle some of those little things that for Justin and Mitch were like, these are critical errors, right? Like, you get that, don't you? And then people at the Bears being like, no, everything's fine. Oh, okay. So if you're Justin, you're like, so you built an offense for someone else, and now you want me to do it, but you're not, helping me do it. That's a critical error. And then he just has to kind of live through that. If you're Mitch and you're like, well, wait, you brought this other guy in here, and it's his job. You didn't tell the head coach that you were even going to draft me.
he didn't want me, and I've only played like 5 games of organized football in my life.
That's a critical error, you know, to where it's going to be difficult to overcome it. But it seems as if, with the Bears, that everyone is on board with what Caleb is about, who he is as a player, and they like what they've seen so far.
Here's what Matt Eberflus thinks of Caleb Williams, quarterback and captain.
I put it to a vote. I had it with offense and defense, and I had the guys rank those guys, and he came out really high. So all those guys did. That's what's great about it. And we had other guys that had great votes too, just not enough to get into that captain's vote. But that's a really good sign that he's got leadership throughout the entire team.
For Caleb, what's the balance that you hope he strikes in being, you know, wearing the C, being a leader, but also knowing that there's going to be growing pains probably for a rookie trying to figure out how to strike himself? What do you hope to impart on him about that process?
Yeah, just be yourself. You know, just be yourself. Be authentic, and you know, let it come to you, which he's done. You know, he's worked his tail off. He's preparing. You know, he's got great passion, you know, in the practicing and the games, and that'll all come to him naturally.
A lot of trust.
Well, they have to. They can't do anything but. They have set this system up for Caleb. The whole offseason, maybe the last 18 months, has been them setting it up for Caleb. So you've got to have complete trust, because and the other part is, there's nowhere else to go. What else are you going to do?
You know what they can do.
Pure bloodlines of agency rides at dawn.
Sorry, I didn't mean to. Yeah, I did.
Yes, you did.
I did, but you asked, because you know this town. That's always going to be...
That's not a choice. There's no going back.
No, I know.
Like,
I like it.
This is where
like you're not committed.
Yes, they have pushed the chips into the middle of the table, and this is the hand. This is it. No one's coming to save you. There's no backup that's going to fix it. None of it. So the goal is that guy is excellent at quarterback, or pretty good. Because even if he's pretty good, if you have belief in the way that the roster has been built up, then the Bears are in a position to be dangerous. But this is it. Like
you don't unwind this trade. This all that it's taken to get here. What I mean by like you've arranged everything. There's so many moves dependent on other moves, and dependent on luck, and dependent on Lovie Smith that have gotten you to this point.
And if it ain't it, he better be good. You got to start the road that you have to look down. Here's the really downside part of it.
This is my job. Don't steal my bit.
You got to start looking at Arch Manning tape for 2 or 3 years down the line. If this doesn't work,
I'm not doing that.
Because he can't even supplant Quinn Ewers.
I'm not looking at Arch Manning tape.
But that's how committed the Bears are, is my point. They're so committed.
Lawrence Holmes mentions Arch Manning tape.
They're so committed that there's nothing in between this and that.
But we don't even know if he's good.
I agree with you.
I think that's the point.
That's what I'm saying. And then he'll get here. And then it's like, it's Arch Manning, pure bloodlines and all that good stuff. Oh, the bloodlines crowd will be so pleased.
Could you imagine?
Whoa. With Arch Manning. He's ruling over Tyson Bagent. You ain't seen nothing yet.
I had to get on the line. I had to pick up the phone about Bagent. He's the real deal. This is coming from a pure bloodline.
You haven't seen nothing yet, sir. Yeah, but my point, because I know this is going to get...
I know
Connor's going to put a video out, and it's going to get aggregated. My point is that the Bears are pot committed. It's Caleb or the 2027, 2028 draft. The headline on the video will read, Lawrence Holmes hypes up Arch Manning. Holmes, future Bears QB.
Holmes, I'm done with this Caleb Williams guy.
Bring on Holmes, Bring on Arch Manning.
Can Tyson Bagent get us
to Manning.
Can he be a bridge quarterback to Arch Manning?
That would absolutely be why my rule is what it is. The moment our video department posts one of those, whether it's you, me, Layla, anybody involved, mute conversation. That's what she started.
No one listens to these dopes anyway.
It's over me.
Right.
Every day.
Except for me all the time, and I text on 5 different phones.
It's like, oh no, because it brings out all the Bears fanboys who either have been muted or blocked or who don't usually follow you, and that they only follow, like, the fans.
They follow the score.
Right, well, they follow the fan sites or whatever, and it's like, wait, they said, what about what? I knew those guys suck. I haven't listened to them since today.
So again, I hope that everything goes really well with Caleb Williams.
Yep.
And the Bears are very committed to Caleb Williams. So committed that if things don't go well, it's going to be a long time. Because the commitment is, like, here's another part of it. The commitment isn't Caleb goes out there and struggles through his rookie year and you move on. No, my friend. That commitment is going to continue because football is hard. It's rough. It's difficult.
And one other tenet, development is non-linear.
That is correct.
Development is non-linear.
And you know, look, since we're already doing future shows and I've already gone to 2028, let me go to 2 weeks from now.
Okay?
After people have seen C.J. Stroud up close. If it doesn't look the same, there are going to be people who are going to be mad. And that's why I keep telling them football is hard. And C.J. Stroud, outlier.
We are getting some uncomfortable news regarding Cubs ace Justin Steele, although maybe Shota Imanaga deserves the term ace at the moment. So let's reset that and just talk about a mistake that was made in the Cubs game that I thought was, when you talk about some unforgivable things, it was pretty close to one of those. There was something in their control that they allowed to get out of their control. Ian Happ is going to join us in a bit, but let's touch base with a team that's keeping us interested. Your Chicago Cubs, next on The Score.
We are Chicago's #1 and most listened to sports station. We're live from Chicago, talking Chicago sports. Listen on your radio, your laptop, your mobile device through the Odyssey app, AUDACY, or tell your smart speaker to play 670 The Score. We're live and we're local. 670 The Score, always live on the free Odyssey app.
This segment is sponsored by Jewel Osco.
Get a slew of $1.99 values with Jewel Osco for your digital coupon. Save big on everything from 1-pound strawberries and yellow flesh peaches or nectarines to cereal, snacks, sweet treats, and more. Check the app for details.
You've heard us talk a lot about FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Well, we have something a little different for you, because now through September 22nd, all FanDuel customers can bet $5 and get a 3-week free trial of NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Then, with a YouTube TV base plan, you'll be able to watch every regular season Sunday afternoon out-of-market game. All you need is a Google account and a current form of payment. You can cancel anytime. Just visit FanDuel.com/BERN to download America's #1 sportsbook. 21 plus and present in Illinois. Full price of NFL Sunday Ticket will be automatically charged seasonally after free trial. No refunds. Terms, restrictions, and embargoes apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Get ready, football fans. GMFB Overtime is football's newest show. Breaking down all things NFL. Check out top highlights. Check out player interviews, fan feedback, special guests, and everything in between. Join hosts Jamie Erdahl, Kyle Brandt, Peter Schrager, and Akbar Bajabiamila. 5 days a week for all the NFL action. GMFB Overtime. It's football for everyone. Weekday mornings at 11 on Fox Plus.
A happy place comes in many colors. One that leaves you feeling refreshed. Something that gets you all fired up. Or gives you the space to chill. Whatever your color, bring happiness home with CertaPro painters to make your happy place your home. CertaPro painters, that's painting happy. Get started today at CertaPro.com. Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
I'm Jeff Jr., founder and CEO of Trajan Well. I was born and raised in northern Wisconsin by both my father, who owned a small 10-lane bowling alley, and my mother, who was a nurse, who did her best caring for everyone in our small town. My parents stressed with me that if you were going to do anything, it needed to be done right or not done at all. I later joined the Marine Corps, where additional values were instilled. Values like honor, courage, and commitment. The motto of the Marine Corps, Semper Fi, which means always faithful. The best part of Trajan Wealth, our 100-plus employees who also embrace the exact same values. If your current financial advisor is more interested in selling you something or is more loyal to their own financial gain than yours, give us a call for a second opinion. We would be honored to hear from you. Call Trajan today at 630-360-9000. That's 630-360-9000.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Well, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
There comes a time in many men's lives in which the thought of having another child is not an option. Do you want to maintain the romance without the risk? There's a permanent solution that can help you achieve just that. Consider a vasectomy. Ooh, I don't know about that. I heard it can be painful.
Yeah, not only that, I heard it was expensive.
These statements may be true for many men, but not the men who choose vasectomy clinics of Chicago. First of all, our procedures are covered by most insurance plans and flex spending accounts. The best part is, with our experienced surgeons, the procedure only takes 30 minutes in the office. No needle, no scalpel, and no trip to the hospital. If you're certain your family is complete, do yourself a favor and call Vasectomy Clinics of Chicago today. Or visit us online at www.vasectomychicago.com and read the testimonials. Conveniently located in Tinley Park, Naperville, Arlington Heights, and downtown Chicago at Lake Point Tower. Now with free valet parking. Call us today at 877-877-4VAS. That's 877-877-4VAS.
More of the Bernstein at Home show on the way in 60 seconds on The Score.
With T-Mobile, you'll save on every plan versus AT&T and Verizon. Because nobody likes having to choose. It's like getting romance and sci-fi.
Jane, I love you.
Also, I'm a robot. Or being a dog person and a cat person.
Who wants a treat? Who's a good boy?
Or like being an extrovert and an introvert.
This is so fun! I can't wait to go home.
At T-Mobile, you don't have to choose. You can get the benefits you want and still save on every plan versus AT&T and Verizon. See how much you can save with our savings calculator at T-Mobile.com/switch. Plus, when you switch, you can keep your phone, and we'll pay it off up to $800.
A virtual prepaid card in 15 days. Qualifying unlocked device, credit, service, and timely redemption required. Card has no cash access and expires in 6 months. See T-Mobile.com.
David Hall for Window Nation. Right now, buy 2 windows and get 2 free. Plus, pay nothing for 24 months. Hurry! The sale ends September 30th, so schedule an in-home estimate at 866-90-NATION, 866-90-NATION, or windownation.com.
Bernstein at Home.
I hate being a fan of this team.
On Chicago Sports Radio, 670 The Score.
Out at its feet here at Wrigley Field. Trying to start a rally. Cubs down to their last strike. The payoff pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. As Santana gets Swanson with the slider. And the Pirates end the Cubs winning streak at 6. They rally from behind to beat the Cubs in the opener of this 3-game set, 5-3.
Not great. It was the reminder that you need every once in a while that when you're playing a Major League Baseball team, every out is precious. There's only one team that is nominally in the major leagues right now that I wouldn't say is a Major League Baseball team. The rules don't apply to that team. But are they a team that won't be named? What do you mean? The White Sox are not a serious team.
Go White Sox!
They're not a... When you say every out's precious and every out matters, it doesn't against the White Sox. They are not a serious team.
Well, they are
No, they're the fact that it's even worse than anyone could have thought is crazy. Just absolutely beyond embarrassment at this point. But I will say, the Pirates have a couple guys who could hurt you. One of those guys is Ryan Reynolds. He's the guy with 22 home runs this year. Don't make a mistake to him. You're leading 3-0. Not that guy, not that time, not that pitch. Those are the things that you can't do. And sometimes you get beat. But when you see some of these pitches that like Bobby Witt Jr. hits, that are just ridiculous. And something that Vlad Guerrero Jr., you're going to make a pitcher's pitch. And some guys, not that pitch to that guy at that time. And don't walk, guys, don't put people on base ahead of that part of the order. That's the only part of the order can hurt you. I mean, 1-3-4. Yes, we'll get to that, but that's not really the big story of the Cubs. The story is that Justin Steele got scratched. And it's like, oh, well, why did he get scratched? Well, there's something going on with his elbow, which is really scary. Here's what Jed Hoyer had to say about it on Mully and Haw.
What's wrong with Justin Steele, and how long will he be out?
Unclear. You know, we'll hopefully have some more information in the next day or two, how long it'll be. But yeah, there's no question that anytime, a guy, has any kind of arm issue, and especially a pitcher as important to us as Justin, obviously it's a concern. And, it wasn't like we knew about that. We're trying to manage it and trying to make a decision on it. We knew going into the game that was going to be the case. And yeah, obviously, the result of the game didn't make that night any easier.
It was his last start that you noticed something, right? Is that you're saying that you knew?
I'm saying I was making a point that we obviously knew going into the game that he was going to be scratched, and so yeah, knowing that we were going to scratch him for today, and knowing that. Obviously the results of the game, David's right. It was certainly it was a restless night knowing those two things had occurred.
Okay. I blame me. Why? Because he's supposed to be joining us on the 17th?
No, because I have the Justin Steele Cy Young ticket at 165-1.
Oh.
That's on me.
I jumped on that too.
As you should have. Yeah. Come on, man. They corrected it very quickly. After that start, it made sense to do.
No, I don't regret it. They said elbow, right?
Yeah. Maybe it's fine. I'm sure it's just him.
Well, it's often not fine. But they're being very tight-lipped. My guess is imaging today.
You would think. You would think that when the Major Jet will talk with the beat today about it, or council talked with the beat about it,
or there's just a release of some kind. But my guess is that the MRI is being done right now.
You guys have more time to talk fishing.
If he's wearing the brace thing.
Yeah.
Don't even. Baseball coverage. T-Mobile. Switch to T-Mobile and you can get tons of benefits and still save on every plan versus AT&T and Verizon. Use their savings calculator to find out how at T-Mobile.com/switch. My mother has a phrase that she uses all the time about worry. And, I'm great at worrying. It's one of my best overall skills. And I know I shouldn't, because I've always heard the line that worry is interest on a debt you may never owe, which is a lovely way to think about it. But my mother likes to say, don't trouble until trouble troubles you. Another way of saying the same thing.
That sounds like your mom's a bit of a gangster.
She says, don't trouble until trouble troubles you. And I don't like hearing about a veteran pitcher with elbow soreness, because it almost never is.
Well, he has already had Tommy John surgery.
But in 2017, which is the new time window, it used to be
between 6 and 8 years, and this would be 7 years.
It used to be 8 to 10, and now they say 6 to 8 because of the number of breaking pitches, how hard the breaking pitches are thrown, and reliance on spin rate and movement, and overall velocity. So let's hope for the best. I hope he's okay. And then on the 17th, we'll have possible playoff baseball talk instead of food.
That would be great if that were the case.
Next up, we are going to have a conversation with a wise football voice, Dominique Foxworth, host of the Dominique Foxworth Show. Spotify, Apple, and YouTube is going to talk some football with us on The Score.
Tomorrow, it's Layla Wednesday, where Layla Rahimi joins the Bernstein at Home show to unleash all her Chicago sports stocks.
I don't predict.
All right.
This is my time. I'm the captain now.
Layla Wednesday, tomorrow, and every Wednesday, with the Bernstein at Home show on Sports Radio 670 The Score. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
This segment's brought to you by Bell Tire.
Get up to $200 off a set of 4 select Goodyear tires at 0% financing for up to 12 months. Get Entire Life, our exclusive free maintenance package including flat repairs, alignment checks, rotations, and free air. Plus, get the lowest tire price, period.
Did you miss the Wayfair Labor Day sale? It's a trick question. It's still going on today at Wayfair at their new store at Eden's Plaza in Wilmette. You can go touch and test products in real life and save up to 70% on furniture, decor, rugs, and more must-have upgrades for indoors and out. You got to get out there and check everything out at Wayfair. It's all brand new, and it's designed to make sure that you find the best things for your budget and for your personal style, because they have it for you, and you can create a home you love with quality and savings for every space, style, and budget. Furniture to faucets, up close, in person, a mattress at the Dream Center, textiles and decor in Market Square, free in-person advice from friendly design experts in the design studio. You can stop by the Porch Cafe for a snack and a glass of wine. And if you can have it shipped, if you want it shipped, they can have it shipped. And if you want to take it home, take it home. Wayfair has you covered, however you want to do it. So save big on all your end-of-summer essentials and more during Wayfair's Labor Day sale. Visit the Wayfair store at Eden's Plaza in Wilmette or go to wayfair.com/stores now for more information. Wayfair, every style, every home.
BetMGM presents Upping the Action with Jamie Foxx.
When you bet this baseball season, you're not just watching the game. You're in it with the bases loaded, bottom of the ninth.
Your money line is on the line. With a drive to left field, the runner goes home. That's your money line. And you called it from the top of the first. It's raining popcorn and sunflower seeds.
This baseball season, download the BetMGM app.
And get up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if your first bet doesn't win.
BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. U.S. promotional offers not available in Nevada, New York, Ontario, or Puerto Rico. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. or New York. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. Iowa, 1-800-BETS-OFF. Puerto Rico, call 1-800-981-0023. West Virginia, visit www.1800gambler.net. First bet offer for new customers only. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards and non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 7 days. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
You wake up feeling like you just boxed 12 rounds. Some wake up sweaty with sore jaws, headaches, and a lot of our patients complain of brain fog. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula, and these signs, often joined with snoring, are sleep apnea symptoms. And if it sounds like you may have been in a struggle last night between you and this serious disorder. Many people aren't willing to fight back. But the fact is, you can't go through these nightly struggles without ramifications that each night chip away at your life's expiration date. I get it. You don't want to wear a CPAP mask. You may find out you don't need one. We have every effective sleep apnea solution available. And believe me, the mask is the last resort.
Solving your breathing triangle problem can lead to better sleep and a better quality of life. Go to AdventKnows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Results may vary.
Let's face it, nowadays, most companies have to rely on dozens of expensive, disconnected platforms to run their business. And even then, things can get a little, well, stressful. But with Odoo's all-in-one management software, packed with a suite of fully integrated business applications, every process is streamlined. Tasks are automated, and success is just a few clicks away. See how Odoo can take your business to the next level at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
Oh, no.
Stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
You're listening to Bernstein and Holmes, back in 60 seconds on the score.
Hello?
Hey, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. Did you know we've got you?
This is sponsored by Arlington International Race Course. It's here. Friday, July 5th is fireworks night at beautiful Arlington International Race Course. Experience live music and entertainment all day and into the night. The best fireworks display you will ever experience kicks off just after dusk. Visit arlingtonpark.com for tickets. Get traffic and weather together on the 8th every 10 minutes on News Radio 780 and 105.9 FM.
Watching some storms to the southwest of the city right now. Some storms popping up in the Grundy County right now. Some in Kendall right now. There are showers in the forecast, potentially a low of 72 tonight. Clouds and sun tomorrow. Another warm and humid day with a chance for afternoon showers with a high of 88. 90 degrees at both airports right now. 89 Lakefront, 91 Wheeling. WBBM News Time 520. Our top story this hour, the earthquake that shook the LA area, with preliminary reports saying it was a 6.4. Alberta Linear is a Chicagoland native who now lives in Las Vegas. She tells WBBM she felt shaken from the earthquake.
I felt all the heavy shaking and someone rolling through, like it was rolling underneath me. And everything was shaking, this whole building, apartment building that I lived in. And we felt it, and I got ready to get up, and it wasn't over.
Well, much more on the earthquake coming up at 5:31. Well, you might think you're the king or queen of the grill. Some experts will advice to help you make your barbecue experience safe and delicious. Barbecue. Taste of Home says even the most experienced grillers can make mistakes, starting with not giving the grill enough space. Make sure you're not near trees or awnings, flying embers, and start a fire. Kids, 3 feet away from the grill even if you're all done grilling the meat. Don't pile too much meat on the grill. The more fat that drips onto the flame, the greater the chance for a flare-up. Grill in small batches, and while the meat might look done, experts say it's best to play it safe and use the food thermometer. Food is safe only after it's reached a high enough temperature to kill harmful bacteria. Chops, roast, ribs, 145 degrees. Chicken legs and thighs, 170 to 175. Beef, 165 degrees. Felicia Middlebrooks, News Radio 105.9 FM. Happy 4th of July. Celebrate by eating nutritious red, white, and blue foods. This is registered dietitian nutritionist Jennifer Bruning, member of the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics with Eating Right. On the grill, prepare lean meat. Then add the meat to skewers along with cherry tomatoes for fiber and added vegetables. For dessert, make your own red, white, and blue sundae with low-fat yogurt topped with blueberries and strawberries. If you like, put these fruits on top of low-fat angel food cake. For a refreshing treat you can bring to the beach or picnic, blend low-fat yogurt, strawberries, and blueberries together as a smoothie. Put your smoothie in a leak-proof container and store it in the cooler. For more tips, visit eatright.org and listen to past programs at WCBMNewsRadio.com/audio. Encouraging you to eat right, I'm registered dietitian nutritionist Jennifer Bruning for News Radio 780 and 105.9 FM.
Looking for something new to try in Chicago? Why not fill up with new Shell V-Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline? Not only does it help keep your engine running like new, but if you fill up with 8 gallons or more, it can also help you win free fuel for a year in the Shell Great Gas Giveaway. Download the Fuel Rewards app or go to fuelrewards.com/win to get started. In instance and continue to use Shell V-Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline. No purchase necessary. Promotion ends 9/1/19. See official rules at fuelrewards.com/win for how to enter by mail and all details.
Want to update your kitchen? Design First can make that happen. Design First Builders is a custom home remodeler that handles every step of your remodeling project. Eric Hinsdale said, Design First Builders was the best contractor we talked to. Fair price, awesome design. For a limited time, Design First is offering a free $5,000 kitchen suite with any project started by July 31st. Call 630-250-7777. Schedule your free in-home consultation. 630-250-7777 or visit designfirstbuilders.com. Valid on new appointments only.
WBBM Business News now at 5:23 from the IncomeStore.com business desk. Here is Joe Doniger. In the years since Toys R Us shut its doors, the toy industry has struggled.
The lesson from last holiday season is a lot of those sales simply went away.
Gateway Investor Relations Sean McGowan says the new normal for the toy industry may now be lower sales.
A number of them came up short in their holiday sales, and even in the early part of this year.
So where does that leave the toy makers? McGowan says that depends.
By and large, the larger companies will be able to survive because they do have the brands that the consumers want.
Still, the head of MGA Entertainment predicts Mattel will go the way of Toys R Us. Isaac Lariat spoke out.
You're back on the brakes. Irving Park most of the way to Hollywood, and that is because Montrose Beach is full to capacity. A lot of confused people trying to make their way to the beach cannot get there. All of your Illinois tollways moving at a decent pace, as is Route 53 and I-80 and Northwest Indiana 8094 eastbound. Flow from I-65 to the 4 Ripley. Get traffic and weather together on the 8s every 10 minutes on News Radio 780 and 105.9 FM.
The WBBM AccuWeather forecast. It's nice now over most of the Chicago area, but we'll see some storms pop up this afternoon, sometimes out of nowhere it seems. So just be prepared and take cover if you need to. We've already reached our high of 88 for the day, heading down to a possibly rainy low of 74 tonight. WBBM News Time, 2:30. This is Chicago's all-news station. News Radio 780 and 105.9 FM at WBBMNewsRadio.com. Good afternoon and happy 4th. I'm Jim Goodis. These are the top stories on News Radio WBBM. A major earthquake strikes Southern California. The latest next from CBS News. While some cheer the USA, others worry they'll have to say goodbye to it this weekend.
This is Mike Krauser. 2 former lawmakers come out on the winning end of a case against the state that the comptroller says perfectly illustrates why voters don't trust politicians.
And a word of caution to make this a happy 4th. WBBM Sports.
This is George Hoffman. Tigers score a couple in the 5th now, take the lead over the White Sox 3-2. The Cubs try to avoid that 4-game sweep at Pittsburgh. Serena Williams, Roger Federer, and Rafael Nadal advance at Wimbledon.
The WBBM AccuWeather forecast could see a storm here or there this afternoon. Otherwise, a mix of sun and clouds. Heading up to 88. WBBM News Time, 2:31.
CBS News report. A magnitude 6.4 earthquake has hit Southern California. Its epicenter is in the town of Ridgecrest, which is in Kern County, more than 100 miles northeast of Los Angeles. Seismologist with the U.S. Geological Survey, Lucy Jones, says it is the strongest to hit Southern California in 20 years.
It's certain that this area is going to be shaken a lot today, and some of those aftershocks will probably exceed magnitude 5, which means they will become damaging.
There have been nearly 40 aftershocks. CBS News correspondent Carter Evans is in Los Angeles.
It felt like a big earthquake, and we knew it was either a big one or a small one that was right under us, or it was a big one that was further away from us, and that's what turns out to be the case. This was an earthquake about 150 miles north of Los Angeles. It was known as the Super Valley.
Evacuations are underway at Ridgecrest Regional Hospital, which reports at least one house fire in the area. CBS special reports on that one.
WBBM News Time, 2:32. Weekend of wait and worry for some area residents after President Trump postponed planned immigration raids for 2 weeks. Nearly 2 weeks ago. WBBM talked with Chicago's 22nd Ward Alderman Michael Rodriguez.
He's got people panicking, people very worried, people scared for their families.
However, Deb Gordillo of the Illinois Republican National Hispanic Assembly says she's not really alarmed. She says what's happening now is not different than what's been happening over the last 20 years in terms of rates. State lawmakers could be getting 7 years of back pay and then some after a judge ruled that they violated